Those who know the most about facial recognition may be looking to stop it. San Francisco and Oakland, California may become the first cities in the country to ban this technology. The two cities, which are just north of the heart of Silicon Valley, are looking to ban any city department from using facial recognition and even getting public input before taxpayer dollars are used to buy license plate readers, toll readers, body cams, and biometrics tech. We have to bring in investigative journalist Ben Swann, who has been following this story, to go even more in depth. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Thanks for having me on, Scottie.
This is a great hypocrisy, but I guess at the same point, I mean, no better person to protect you from it than the person who invented it. This proposal in San Francisco would ban the use of facial recognition as well as any information obtained from this technology. This is a big step, considering how quickly cities across the United States are really starting to use and embrace this facial recognition. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are correct. It's actually a huge step to see this happen. First of all, number one, look, we've been saying this for a long time. The only way you're going to be able to deal with this increasing encroachment of tech companies and tech services around the world is to eventually start to walk back from them. And San Francisco, Oakland, finally looking like they are going to take the first step to doing that. Consider the fact that in New York right now, when there is an incredible net of surveillance cameras being set up, bought, purchased, built up as a surveillance web essentially across the city. That is happening in New York right now. Meanwhile, San Francisco is saying not only can you not use the facial recognition software without further discussion, but we don't want you using that technology at all in police investigations, in private citizens' work. I mean, it's pretty astounding to see this happening. Hopefully it'll pass, because I think it would be a good thing for civil liberties.
Well, that's the thing. So if San Francisco were to pass this ordinance, it would be the first of its kind to actually ban the use of facial recognition. What reasons are lawmakers giving for being against this type of technology?
Well, one of the things is this push in San Francisco has actually been pushed by the ACLU, so they've been behind a lot of this. But look, it really comes down to things that you and I have talked about before, which is that facial recognition technology and the software behind it is not very reliable. And despite the fact that we have these ideas that facial recognition technology is so accurate, it's really not very accurate. And so one of the concerns is people's civil liberties being violated, but also the ability to be able to just walk through a city, to be able to walk down a street without your image being not only captured, but also cataloged and shared with law enforcement agencies across the country when you haven't done anything wrong. And that is what is happening. And keep this in mind too, Scottie, it's not just, city-owned cameras and police and law enforcement-owned cameras. There's an entire surveillance net being derived out of private cameras on private property, but then you matching those images into essentially kind of surveillance webs. And when you do that, you literally have millions of cameras all the time capturing our images. And so the question becomes, at what point do you step back from that? San Francisco is saying, we don't think that this technology is necessarily very reliable in the first place. Remember, we have those members of Congress where their images were taken, run through Amazon's recognition program, and they were matched to felons. So the bottom line is it's not very accurate technology, and San Francisco, through this ordinance, is essentially trying to say we need to step back from it because it doesn't work as well as people think it does.
Well, and that's what's so interesting, considering where San Francisco is located and where a lot of this technology came from. Now, this Stop Secret Surveillance ordinance goes farther than just facial recognition and includes other forms of commonly used surveillance as well. This includes body cams. Now, I was under the impression that body cams were a good thing, that they were to help people help possibly corrupt policemen actually do their job, and vice versa, people that they were confronting to behave. Where is this technology being corrupted, or is this one case that is possibly a good thing that we can all agree on?
So here's what they're doing. Again, the name of it, you just read it, is the Stop Secret Surveillance Act, right. Essentially is what the ordinance is about. And the idea behind it is not that you can't use body cameras, or not that you can't use license plate readers, toll readers, those kinds of things, but that the public must have input on these things, that the public must be heard from in order for these to be implemented, and that's what's very important. Does the public want police to wear body cameras? Well, let's hear from the public and get their input. Does the public want license plate readers and toll booth readers? They might not. Let's hear from the public. So what's fascinating about this, and what the ordinance really comes back to, is the idea of empowering citizens to say, you get to have some say and control once again in what your municipalities look like and what kinds of technology is being used either to protect you or against you. And that's what makes this unique, because a lot of cities, a lot of municipalities will say, well, we don't know about those body cameras, even if you want them, but we sure know about those toll readers and those license plate readers, and police departments put them in without the public having any input at all. And I think that's what's significant here.
Well, Ben, it's going to be interesting because most times, most cities across the United States don't follow San Francisco's lead. We're going to see in this case, it might be something they can agree on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Scotty, thanks.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.